This is the last dynamic we're looking at in this module, where we're going to use a temper monkey script. And this time around, we're going to bring web apps and web pages into Workflowy by using an iFrame script. So what exactly is iFrame? Let's take a look. In this illustrative list, I've got a handful of examples of web apps or services and web pages that you can display in Workflowy. Let's look at the first one, displaying YouTube videos in Workflowy. Here you'll see one of my videos from the Workflowy Academy, and I can use the YouTube controls just as I would on the YouTube site itself. I can even go into full screen mode. And now if I click in the note area here, just like I did with inline images in Workflowy, I have my link tucked away in the second line of this note. And take note of the syntax I use here. First, I have an exclamation mark, followed by the keyword iFrame wrapped in square brackets, and then my YouTube embedded link in round brackets. Let's go ahead and collapse this again and see what else we can bring into Workflowy. Here's a Workflowy blog post on the very thing we're looking at right now, iFrame in Workflowy. Next up, we have a series of web apps and services. Here I've got a Prezi presentation that I can go ahead and hit play to present. In the note, you'll see that I have a Prezi embedded link wrapped in the round brackets. Here I've embedded a random Evernote note. It's a simple table with some data I had logged once upon a time. You can also embed Google Documents into Workflowy. This first one is a Google spreadsheet. And this second one is a regular document. One nifty little thing you can do in a Google Doc is use their voice typing tool. It's really quite something. You can go ahead and dictate while you're on your desktop browser now, without using expensive speech-to-text software such as Dragon Naturally Speaking. Let's take a look. I'm going to hit Control, Shift, and S to activate this. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, comma, a peck of pickled peppers, Peter Piper picked, ... If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, comma, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked, question mark. I don't know, you might find this really useful. Just a quick peek at two more apps for the sake of variety. Now here we have a mind mapping app called MindMeister. And here's a Ginkgo tree. Ginkgo is a word processor that doubles up as a dual mode markdown editor. Now for this last example, I'm going to embed a shared Workflowy list within my outline. If I click in this note, you'll see that I already have my link here. So let's format this right. First, we need an exclamation mark, our square brackets with iFrame, and we're going to wrap this link in round brackets. And there's my shared list. By the way, this is the exact same workflowy shared list that you'll find a link to in the description box below this video. In this list, you'll find instructions and links to download and install the TamperMonkey script needed to get iFrame up and running, as well as a CSS style that will let you have more control over the dimensions of your iFrame container. Let's take a look at that CSS code right now. The only thing we're going to concern ourselves with here are the height and width values of our iFrame container. You'll see that I've got a height of 360 pixels and a width of 640 pixels. This iFrame container is looking a bit cramped, so let's spread things out a wee bit and give this a maximum width of 850 pixels. Now I've got a little bit more elbow room. So as I mentioned, you'll find this shared list in the description box below this video. Now, besides the resource links in this list, you'll also find a list of tips on how to go about embedding the apps and web pages I demonstrated in this video. And before long, you'll find something that might just be useful enough to you that you want to embed it in Workflowy via this iFrame dynamic.